Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Alright, so as you probably know, I've basically riddled with COVID still, so I figured, you don't really need to see my face when I'm making a video like this. And plus, I don't really want everybody throwing up looking at my ugly face when it's infested with illness. But anyway, so today's video, I'm basically going to be sharing what my first real job was. Now obviously back when I was a kid, I had the odd job here and there, maybe for like a one day or maybe even a week. I'm not going to consider them my first proper job. My first proper job was when I was 18 years old and I got a job at a trampoline park earning £8 an hour, and this was all the way back in 2017, and I do mean at the very start. Around January, February is where this trampoline park got finally built. So what the situation was for me at the time was basically I left college because it made me incredibly miserable and I didn't want to go back in September. So what I decided to do was basically take the rest of the year off, and then when it came to the new year I was going to go into work. Little did I know that going into work was probably one of the best things that I ever did at the time. So what happened is in the early of 2017, January, February, around there, I did all the interviews, and to be honest, I was absolutely dog shit. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just so uncomfortable and not just awkward in every single way. But I managed to pull it off, and the main reason was basically because I was actually pretty damn good on a trampoline. And the reason why is because when I was a kid, I used to, for some reason, like trampolining a lot in my garden and stuff, and I could do a whole bunch of flips, and they figured, you know what, why not add this guy in, and his social skills will improve when he starts working. And that's exactly what happened. But I remember clear as day the first day I was getting a lift to this trampoline park, and I remember throwing up all outside of my granddad's car window because I was just so nervous. But when I did turn up, I remember walking in and looking at everything, like this brand new sparkling trampoline center, and it blew my mind. I remember seeing all the staff there, they were all young, guys my age. The oldest person there was probably about 30, and he was just being a supervisor, so it didn't really matter because he was a stage above us anyway. But I just remember that feeling where all the management, they brought us all into this room. We watched this video showing us all about the safety and all this crap, and then what they did is they brought us up into the arena where all the trampolines and everything were. And because I was still pretty damn young, and obviously in the south of England there's not a lot to do here, so seeing something like this, which you would probably only see in America, blew my mind. I remember looking around Jesus, this is so cool. I could learn so much stuff here, and just I don't know, just straight away I was like, bro, I'm actually going to be working here. This is dope. For me, this was my first job, so obviously if I felt like I was earning a bunch of money at the time, it really wasn't. I was probably taking home, after taxes, probably taking £1,200 every single month, which was basically nothing. But at the end of the day, from all the experiences that I've had since this job, I can happily say that that was by far the easiest job that I've ever done in my life. All I literally had to do was stand around and watch people and make sure they weren't doing anything unsafe. It was basically like being a lifeguard, but the difference was if it wasn't too crazily busy, if a kid come up to you and was like, hey, can you do a double backflip or something, then you do it. You'd hang around with all the people that come in, you'd have a laugh. It was literally walking around just watching people. And if you were lucky on my shift, sometimes you get people who are my age, or personally I'd prefer it if people that were older. You get a group of 30-year-olds who come in and they're absolutely terrible on a trampoline, and they come up to you yo, do some cool stuff, bro. And it's just, I don't know, and you just became friends with customers, and that it was just a really good vibe there. And then not to mention the people that were working there was what made it so special to me. So we had this manager, I'm not going to say anyone's names in this, but we had this manager who was massive, and everyone would think he'd be absolutely terrifying and scary, but if you got to know him, he was just an absolute legend. He ended up going out, bringing the staff out. Bearing in mind we're all probably I don't know, 18 to maybe 22 at this point. We're all going out getting drunk and together after work, and it was just a real friendship group. It was so cool. I don't think you would ever have that situation where you have all of the staff where they're super young, and then they're actually like genuine friends with the management who are probably in their 30s and coming up to their 40s. Like, honestly, amazing vibe. The first year that I was there, I could honestly say right now that I think it might have been the best time of my entire life, because literally I was getting paid to hang around with my friends all day long. I was basically able to walk into this place, you know, train as much as I wanted, because I had some weird ambition of becoming some sort of gymnast, and I did get to a level where people were like, Jesus Christ, this guy's fucking lit. But obviously it's not going to go anywhere because I only did it for a few years. I should have been training my whole life. But either way, you know, it was fun. Like, it was an amazing year. There are so many good memories, and there are, and of course, some bad memories. Like, some of the good memories are, you know, back when I was 18 years old, it seemed to be a lot easier to get girls. Like, girls were working at this flip out, and you know, I had fun with some of them, if you know what I'm saying. It was fun. And unfortunately, I did meet my first ever girlfriend there, who basically is the literal incarnation of the devil. Like, if the devil was female, it was that. It was an absolute mess, and maybe one day I'll share my experience about her, but yeah, let me just say that was by far the worst thing that ever came out of that place. You know, other things that did happen is that job gave me the money so that I could, you know, learn how to drive. Like, I passed my driving test working there. You know, I learned social skills. Like, I learned how to be confident around other people. Like, when I first joined the job, I was like some introverted kid who just went to college, and then literally my job was to come out of college and to basically have a job where I was basically talking to customers all day, every day. And like, you do develop social skills, and I could just develop this confidence to speak to anybody, and just, I don't know, it's one of them things, skills that I've never lost. I find it incredibly easy talking to people nowadays, and I'm telling you, it is because of that job. Thing is everything was great. Like, we were going out drinking, well, not all the time, but the staff were going out drinking, you know. I was surrounded by fit girls, like, all the time, like, fucking these beautiful gymnast girls who were, like, in their first couple of years of university and stuff, and you know, I was getting paid an alright wage, and just everything was great. But unfortunately, the good never seems to last in life. I don't know why, but it did only last for about a year, where basically in the December time, that main manager, who was the guy who everyone thought would be scary, but he was actually a really nice guy, turns out there was a few shady things going on, and I'm never gonna talk about what was going on in that company, but I got, basically because I worked there for so long, and because I became friends with all the managers, I basically started to know all the ins and outs, and it was a bit dodgy in some places. But the worst thing was when that main manager basically got sacked because of his incompetence, and you know, after that, that's when everything just went downhill. Because what happened is basically the owner decided that everybody who was working in this company for the first year was having too much fun, and they started to make it like feel like a job. Like, you weren't allowed to talk to each other like all friendly like all the time. Like, you weren't allowed to mess around with the customers. Like, you had to always be doing something, and they like made you cold call people. Like, you had no training whatsoever, and they got you to sit at the reception desk calling up random people saying, do you want to come to our trampoline park? It was just desperate. I can't believe they actually tried to do that. Like, they basically sucked the soul out of the entire place, because at the start it was a bunch of people, all groups of friends, having a laugh. The customers came in and they felt the vibe because we were all happy to be there. But by like a year and a half, like, that was it. Like, it was over. They started to turn it into a business. The owner didn't want management and staff basically being all close, and you know, there was so much fucked up shit I could talk about, where it just, it angers me what they did to that place, because like I said, I did genuinely love it every second of when I used to work there. When the old manager was there, I could never complain about it at all. It was fucking brilliant. All I'm saying is, when people have their first job, I don't think it could have got any better than my first job. I was in a sports environment where it was pretty damn laid back. Like, all the staff and management, we were all like proper close. So when I went to work, it literally didn't feel like work. It was like I was going to go meet my friends for the day. It was awesome, and I was getting paid for it. Like, I cannot thank people enough for giving me that experience. And if I had a time machine, I swear to God, I would go back and experience that first year over again. Honestly, genuinely, best time of my life. I cannot fault it at all. Apart from maybe meeting that one girl, which was basically at the very end of 2017, and at the start of 2018 is where I met that fucking devil. But it's just sad when I sit there and think back, like, of all them guys that I was, working with, like, we were all friends. I don't think I talk to any of them at all. The only person I even speak to nowadays, or even see, is Kieran, which you've seen in my videos. That's how I met Kieran. Kieran actually came in as a customer, and I can't really remember, but he ended up getting a job with us, and it was fun. And that's probably where our friendship developed, where he got a job at the trampoline park. There are so many memories, but it's like, can I share them? Like, I don't know if I can. One of them was me maybe having sexual intercourse with a girl in a storage room, and then fucking people walk in and watch us. It was so awkward. I don't know. All I'm saying is, without a doubt, one of the best jobs you could ever have as your first job. And like I said, if I had a time machine, I would 100% go back and relive it, because it was fucking amazing. Alright guys, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed me kind of sharing this. Let me know in the comments down below if you want more videos like this. I personally find these videos really fun to make, as it's kind of it's just cool to look back. But anyway guys, thank you again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!